It's the 10th anniversary of Glory, a popular MMORPG with over 130 million players worldwide. In the world of esports, one legendary player stands above the rest, Gaoshou, dubbed the Battle God. Under his leadership, the Excellent Era has won 3 consecutive championships. But his days as captain are over. The club has a new player, Sun Xian. Not only is he taking over as captain, but he's stealing one Autumn Leaf, Gaoshou's famous battle mage. Yi is given an ultimatum when he terminates his contract. He must publicly announce his retirement, banning him from playing at the professional level or work behind the scenes. He chooses retirement. Leaving the club headquarters, his former teammate, Muxiang, asks him what he will do now. He tells her he will rest for a year before returning to Glory. Walking past Happy Internet Cafe, Gaoshou enters and makes his way to the assigned computer, leaving his ID at the counter. Qinghua, the owner, is on a 52-loss streak when he notices her playing Glory. Exasperated, she gets up and walks away until someone informs her that her account is being used. Rushing back, she is surprised to find Gaoshou has broken her losing streak in 40 seconds, bragging that it would only take 30 if his hands were not so cold. She deduces that he must be a pro, Gaoshou, the only member of the Excellent Era that nobody has seen in person. Snatching his ID card when the front desk worker tries to return it, she is disappointed when she reads his real name, Gaoshou. He notices that they're looking to hire a night manager and asks for the job. Chen agrees, but only if he can beat her 1v1. Unfortunately, he just gave up his account card, then remembers the 10th server opening that night and pulls out a first edition card. Chen is stunned that he has been playing for almost 10 years compared to her 5. She tells him the job is his, if he can pull an all-nighter with her. The server opens, and Chen sees Yi reading a noob guide, explaining to her he hasn't played the early game content in years. After some beginner stuff, Gaoshou retrieves his silver weapon, the Myriad Manifestation Umbrella. Chen is fast asleep after he returns from washing up in the bathroom. So, he decides to join a group and tackle a boss, the Midnight Phantom Cat. As the group enters the Green Forest dungeon, the player character, Sleeping Moon, leads the party under the guise of teaching the newbies, but when the boss shows up, Sleeping Moon lets them die to keep the loot for himself. Gaoshou catches on and refuses to heal him while the others die. Sleeping Moon tries to bargain for half of the loot, but he is having none of it, he wants it all. With Sleeping Moon dead, it's just Gaoshou, Lord Grimm, versus the Midnight Cat. Chen wakes up to find him landing the final blow. It's the first kill server-wide. Logging back on, Yi immediately receives a wall full of spam accusing him of attempting Sleeping Moon's scam. Ironically, the only party willing to raid dungeons is Sleeping Moon's. After another Midnight Cat kill, the party tackles Spider Cave, another first dungeon clear for the server. This gets the attention of Blue River, whose group was 10 seconds away from clearing the dungeon. They think he must be a pro playing on alt. So, Blue River tells them to start researching Lord Grimm. Sleeping Moon reluctantly makes Lord Grimm party leader as the group stumbles across a hidden boss. Then, Gaoshou gives directions to the team to CC, stunlock, the boss, a plan he just came up with based on the group's composition, all the while teasing Little Moon. Working together, they pull off the boss fight. Blue River and his team talk about Lord Grimm and how Sleeping Moon spammed the chat to discredit him, only to then get another first server kill with Grimm, and a third as the announcement details the latest hidden boss defeat. Gaoshou checks his messages to find a screen full of friend invites from Blue River, receiving a message right after accepting the request. Blue River explains that he is from the Blue Brook Guild and that his main is Blue Bridge Spring Snow. He asks Grimm to help with the first clear of Frost Forest, but he cannot level up fast enough, so they settle for a record time clear instead, for a price, of course. He asks for increasingly rare crafting materials. They have a deal. Upon waking up, Yi finds the whole cafe glued to the TV. Excellent Era is giving a press release announcing Gaoshou's retirement, to fans' dismay. Chen, in tears, accuses Yi of not caring. She still does not believe he is Gaoshou and that he cares more than she will ever know. Gaoshou quit, but Gaoshou is still here. Chen is still upset, refusing to believe Yi. Lord Grimm shows up at the Frost Forest dungeon where the Blue Brook Guild members are waiting. still unspecialized and still giving commands, he forgoes going over strategies and requests a complete change of party lineup, if they want to set a record time, that is. The guild members file in after him. Blue River is beginning to get mad, but he's just as confused as the rest of them. Grim proposes they pull off a one-wave rush, to the group's surprise, thinking he must be joking. Grim is surrounded by mobs. It looks like the end for him, but it's just the beginning. Lord Grim executes a Z-shake to avoid taking damage. Not even the Blue Brook Guild Master can pull that off. He starts using moves that only an unspecialized character can pull off, despite the guild members insisting that only idiots choose that playstyle. Distracted by Grim, they do not realize the mobs are heading straight for them. When Grim begins to give orders, the party snaps into action, doing everything he instructs. Success! They pulled off a new record time for Frost Forest, 20 minutes 24 seconds. Blue River, smug in his victory, gloats to the other guilds that Lord Grim has officially joined Blue Brook, but only for the duration of the dungeon. He quickly leaves at the first chance he gets, to Blue River's dismay. Qing gets a call from her friend Tang Ro the next day and excitedly rushes to meet her as she arrives in town. At the cafe, Qin asks Tang to finally beat a player she can't. Tang wins the match effortlessly. He notices that Tang has a high APM, actions per minute. He stops dead in his tracks when Tang says she finds the game too easy. Qin makes she 1v1 Tang. He tries to make it interesting by placing a small bet. Tang obviously tastes something she's never had before, bitter defeat. He concedes that Tang has fast hands, but a high APM is not all there is to glory. He points out areas where Tang needs improvement, joking that it will take 100 years to get good. But Tang is not having it and cannot take a joke. She keeps betting but can't seem to win. Her pride will not let her quit. She loses more than just the matches and money. Tang asks Qin for a glory account, vowing to beat Yi, determined to regain her confidence. Receiving her own glory account card, Tang creates her first character, Soft Mist. Almost deciding to play unspecialized like Yi, Qin warns against it, since he uses a weapon specifically designed for his unspecialized character. Instead, she decides to play as a Bao Mage. Yi offers to teach her since the guides are 9 years old. He should know, he wrote them. He compromises and updates the guides. Yi overhears talk of a wild boss appearing while having a smoke, Bloodgunner Yag. The top 3 guilds are lying in wait to steal the boss kill, debating on teaming up when a complete novice attacks the boss solo, 2 party members lagging behind him. At first, he seems like a veteran until he makes some embarrassing rookie mistakes. Lord Grim appears, saving the noob steamed bun invasion, asking to join his party. Following Grim's instructions, the party quickly gains traction, learning to cooperate. The cemetery ground begins to open as 100 zombies rise from their graves. The guild members are shocked. Grim must have landed a 200-hit combo for the boss to go berserk. Yishou tells them to ignore the guilds and run. Steamed Bun Invasion and the other noobs follow, taking the boss with them. Once they escape, Sleepy Moon and 2 of his fellow Full Moon Guild members show up to help. The other guilds are too slow. The system bulletin announces the first kill of Bloodgunner Yag goes to Lord Grim and his team. Blue River sends Yishou a friend request and begs him to run Frost Forest with his guild again. Turning him down, Yi mentions he has an appointment with rival guild Tyrannical Ambition. Getting up from his computer, another announcement sounds. Excellent Dynasty holds the new record for Frost Forest, 13 minutes 24 seconds. Tyranny Team Captain Han Wenqing receives interesting intel from teammate Zhang Xinjia. He thinks that Yiqiu is helping Excellent Dynasty set the Frost Forest record. But Yiqiu is putting together his own team, a brawler, battle mage, and launcher. Qin demands to know who the launcher is. Yi has just the person in mind. A live stream match airs in the cafe that night, Excellent Era vs 301 Degrees. Sun Xiang playing as one Autumn Leaf, looks like he's going to win despite being 1v3, Yi says otherwise. Excellent Era will lose the match overall. He's right, their teamwork falls apart, and 301 Degrees is about to, but the power goes out before the match results air. They later find out that 301 Degrees had in fact won. Tang Rou and Yi Xiu are tending the front counter of the cafe when Lu Hao and Chen Yahui enter. Hoa, clearly drunk, notices Yi Xiu and starts mocking his former captain for lecturing him. Yi stands up and viciously tears down Hao, pointing out all his failures as a player before kicking them out, referring to the sign that mentions the cafe's right to kick out drunk customers. Back on the 10th server, gathering outside of Frost Forest preparing for a run, an elementalist from Tyrannical Ambition, Crowd Lover, meets up with Lord Grimm, Steamed Bun Invasion, and Tang's character Soft Mist, surprised to find the party has 2 noobs in it. Before entering, the launcher, Cleansing Mist, shows up to complete the party. Crowd Lover can't believe how high the newbie's APM is. Things are starting to look hairy when Cleansing Mist uses Delivery Gun, a professional launcher move, which catches Crowd Lover's attention. He begins to suspect the player behind the female launcher character. He's right. In a room with a picture of Yi Xiu and 2 others, sits Su Muxiang, his former teammate at Excellent Era and professional launcher player. Yi Xiu tells Muxiang not to use professional moves to maintain their anonymity, and Crowd Lover brushes it off. Why would Excellent Era help Tyrannical Ambition? Close call. Directing Tang to train in the Frost Forest and Steamed Bun Invasion to focus on equipment, Yi Xiu levels up his Myriad Manifestation umbrella in preparation. They are all set to run Frost Forest again, successfully beating the record at 13 minutes 5 seconds. But they don't hold it for long. Excellent Dynasty swoops in and beats their time. Tang is ready to set yet another record when he tells her there's no point as they have reached level 25. Lu Hoa, the vice-captain of Excellent Era after Ye's departure, is still angry about the other night and all of Lord Grimm's achievements. He creates a character, Hateful Sword, to spy on the group. To his dismay, Yi rejects his offer. Hao challenges him to a duel instead. Again, he is denied when Yi tells him dueling Steamed Bun Invasion would be more on his level. Hao lets him win. Hateful Sword is invited to join the group to tackle the Boneyard, where Yi Xiu lays out a new strategy to set a new record. Hao spends all day on the 10th server, forgetting his match against Huang Shaoqian that night. Unprepared, Hao has no chance of winning. Excellent Dynasty sets a new record by stealing Yi Xiu's Boneyard strategy. Messaging Yi Xiu afterwards, playing dumb, Hao is caught off guard when Yi Xiu calls him out by name, knowing it was Hao the whole time. A mysterious figure lurks outside the cafe, waving at Yi Xiu, who motions to meet him in the back. When they are alone, the figure reveals himself to be Huang Shaoqian, the vice-captain of Blue Rain, aka the Sword Saint. Logging on his flowing tree, Huang joins the group to go over the new strategy to beat the Boneyard record. They are going to trap the enemies in a cliff face, saving them precious seconds. With Huang's help and the new weapon they got from the run they did with Hao, Yi Xiu is confident they can beat the record. They join the Blue Brook Guild, getting ready for the dungeon run. Lord Grimm, Cleansing Mist, Soft Mist, Steamed Bun Invasion, and Flowing Tree set the new Boneyard record, 16M24S67. Huang wonders why Yi Xiu retired. Because of Muxiang. She would have terminated her contract with 1.5 years left, so you won't return until that time is up. In a group chat, the guild leaders from Blue Brook and Tyrannical Ambition discuss the new development on the 10th server. They are confused by the surplus of anonymous expert players. The Herb Garden leader stays silent. As Yi Xiu trains with Tang, Steamed Bun Invasion, Sleepy Moon, and 7 Fields, they feel someone is watching them. Planago Seed, leader of Herb Garden. He launches an assault on the party. Not even Bao Zi, Steamed Bun Invasion, and Soft Mist's APM can hold him off. Lord Grimm steps in and takes him by surprise, fending off their assailant. Yi Xiu figures it couldn't have been the real Planago Seed, but someone controlling his character, Wang Jieshi, captain of Team Tiny Herb. There are 5 titles given to the top 5 characters: Battle God, King of Fighting, Sword Saint, Great Gunner, and Magician, which is reserved for Wang Jieshi, the player, not the character, because his combat style is eccentric and flexible, unpredictable. Wang Jieshi tells Gaoshou to give the rest of the reserve team new account cards instructing them to kill Lord Grimm. They set out to find him in the desolate lands. Cloudy Heavens and Ashen Moon rush to attack Grimm. Using Z-Shake, he evades both, causing one to hit his own teammate. Grim juggles Cloudy Heavens using Vanishing Step, so he's unable to move by constantly attacking from the opponent's blind spot. Wang Jieshi shows up along with the rest of the Tiny Herb members. The captain proclaims a new training regimen: kill the boss Lord Grim, the strongest boss in Glory. After seeing Lord Grim play, the Tiny Herb captain is 80% sure the player behind the character is none other than Yi Xiu. Hopefully Yi Xiu has 9 lives, because it looks like the cat is out of the bag. Tiny Herb continues its relentless assault on Lord Grim in the days following. Finally having enough, Grim challenges the entire Tiny Herb team to fight him at the same time. Asking if they've ever fought a true unspecialized character before, they take the bait and all attack at once. But Yi Xiu has different plans. He evades their attacks and makes a run for it. They follow only to see him jump off a building and log off. Soft Mist interrupts Captain Wang's pep talk, but instead of Tang's voice, they hear Yi Xiu over the mic. He challenges them to an arena battle. He only has one condition: they must beat Tang Rou first. Tang loses the battle with a professional player, but now more determined than ever, she refuses to give up. They make their way to the arena, where Yi Xiu makes them bet a list of rare materials on the fight. He quickly disposes of the first opponent, Gaoshou. Meanwhile, Qiao Yifan is taking almost 3 minutes to beat Tang, which provokes the captain to chew him out, telling him he isn't progressing fast enough. Yi Xiu asks Qiao Yifan why he plays as an assassin, suggesting that he should try playing as a Ghost Blade instead since it would suit his playing style better. At the same time, Captain Wang takes Tang aside to have a conversation. She won't mention what he said to Yi. Now it's Lord Grim versus Fiery Blaze, Wang's character. As the battle rages, Yi knocks over a pillar, which creates a ring of fire around the arena. In response, Wang switches to using ice. Their APM continues to increase as the two clash relentlessly. It's so close, no one can predict who will win. It's a draw, neither beating the other. Tang catches Yi before heading to bed and wonders what playing as a professional is like. She admits that Wang tried to recruit her, but she refused. Yi asks if she enjoys Glory. If so, then it's all the same, professional or not. When Xiao finds himself alone, he creates a new character, 1-inch Ash, a Ghost Blade. The next day, a young man with long blonde hair walks into the cafe. Thinking he's a gangster, Chen almost throws him out. He asks if Lord Grim is around, introducing himself as Steamed Bun Invasion. There are rumors spreading throughout the 10th server. The lower-tier Full Moon Guild paid Lord Grim only 4 Scarlet Moon pieces to set a dungeon record. All the guild leaders start bidding for Grim's services, but Yi Xiu refuses. Fulfilling his promise, the Full Moon Guild sets a new record for the Desolate Lands. With the 3 major guilds' reputations on the line, Blue River goes to the Heavenly Domain to speak with the guild leader, Changing Spring. After some debate, they acquire new account cards for members in the Heavenly Domain to beat the record. After a day in the market getting gear, Yi Xiu, Tang Rou, and Steamed Bun, Bao Zi, all converge in the Desolate Lands. They sense that someone is watching them. Steamed Bun runs ahead to confront them, only to be met by 1-inch Ash, Xiao's new Ghost Blade, who happily greets Yi Xiu. Guildless characters suddenly ambush the party as the 3 major guilds watch from the sidelines, taking no part in the assault. The party manages to fend off their attacks against all odds. But there's no time for celebration as Blade Master Poplar Beach launches another ambush, without success as Yi Xiu and Steamed Bun make quick work of him. Blue Brook Guild had set a Desolate Lands record of 24 minutes 41 seconds with Poplar Beach in the party. Changing Spring introduces himself while he talks about their record time, mentioning that if Blue River were there instead of Poplar Beach, their time would have been better. At the Excellent Era headquarters, Chen Yahui is determined to beat Yi Xiu after his rejection when he was captain. Yi Xiu tells Qiao Yifan that they can beat the Desolate Lands record with his new Ghost Blade on the team. Huang Xiaoqian, at Blue Rain's headquarters, is asked by a man where he can find Yuan Zhou. Playing Chen's character, Chasing Haze, Yi Xiu accepts Poplar Beach's challenge, beating him in 39 seconds. Chasing Haze's combat abilities impress Yuan Zhou while he watches the battle from Blue Rain's headquarters, not knowing it's really Yi playing. The captain calls for Huang Xiaotian, who's nervous about being found out. Yuan Zhou's analysis allows him to deduce the real identities of Flowing Tree, Huang Xiaotian, Hateful Sword, Lu Hao, and Lord Grimm, Yi Ke. Tang finds a guide for Boneyard that details their strategy, written by someone calling themselves Concealed Light. Huang Xiaotian messages Yi Xiu, "You've been exposed. The records gave us away." The captain only had to put 2 and 2 together. Yi replies, saying it's a shame the captain's APM is so low for a pro. Yu, reading over Huang's shoulder, challenges Yi to a duel. The captain plays as Swaxar, a warlock. Despite his superior strategy, he loses to Yi's faster hands. Yuan Zhou notes that at level 95, an unspecialized player will lose their advantage if the cap goes that high. Reading Concealed Light's guide, Yi reckons he's a noob to glory, but he was able to piece together their strategy without being there, which he finds impressive. A hooded figure enters the cafe asking to use the internet. It's Su Muxiang. They log on and put the group together to avenge the apparent death of Tang's character, Soft Mist. Unbeknownst to them, Steamed Bun, Cleansing Mist, 1-inch Ash, and Lord Grimm all have targets on their backs. Trying to escape, Steamed Bun falls down a well. Not expecting anyone to be down there, he panics when he hears a voice and hits them over the head with his brick. The stranger at the bottom of the well turns out to be Concealed Light. To Steamed Bun's surprise, he offers to help him escape. Upon getting out of the well, Concealed Light analyzes their pursuers, coming up with a strategy to effectively throw them off. The two split up and reconvene after throwing them off their trail. Yi Xiu messages Steamed Bun to check if he's okay. Curious about his new friend, he tells them to meet up in Quanzhi Forest. Most of their pursuers are above level 33, unlikely that they're all from the same guild. It turns out that multiple guilds combined forces to hunt down Yi Xiu and his team. Huang Xiaotian spams Yi Xiu for a duel. Instead, Yi tells him to come to Quanzhi Forest and help fight off their pursuers. Some of the mob break from the pack to kill Flowing Tree until they notice he's only level 27 and there's no point in wasting time fighting him. This only riles Huang up and he chases after them, killing a few and stealing an orange-level sword. Huang tries fighting Yi but runs out of mana as the horde approaches. Fighting them off, they both run out of mana and look to make their escape. There's an opening, but they are surrounded and can't break free. The mob starts to gloat until backup arrives. Muxiang, Tang, Qiao, Steamed Bun, and Concealed Light show up ready to help. Yi starts giving orders, until customers start showing up at the cafe giving him their orders. The team overcomes the odds and fends off the combined effort of the guilds. Yi Xiu is confident that the guild's efforts to stop him and his team from leveling up are in vain. Huang bugs him to duel again, and after another rejection, he observes that Yi Xiu has been putting together a perfect team for Glory's professional alliance, a thought that hadn't occurred to Yi until now. The wild boss of Lion Canyon appears, and Steamed Bun suggests they steal the kill from Tyrannical Ambition. The guild leader of Tyrannical Ambition, Jiangyu, is convinced to head to the Club Tyranny's headquarters to consult the pros on what to do about the Lord Grimm situation. Unable to get an audience the next day, Jiang heads to the cafeteria to find the vice captain of Tyranny, Zhang Xinjie. Sitting down, he asks for his help. After Zhang finishes his lunch, Jiang hands over a flash drive containing videos of Grimm and his team in action. Han Wenqing watches the videos with his vice captain, who offers his analysis. Lord Grimm is most likely Yi Xiu. Producing account cards for the 10th server, Zhang suggests they investigate. Logging on, Yi Xiu sees a weapon flying right at him. With no one to help, he must face his attackers, Cold Knight and Crowd Lover, alone. To make things worse, Zhang Xinjie, a master tactician, is giving the orders. They have trouble pinning Lord Grimm down. Unspecialized characters are unpredictable as it is, not to mention Yi Xiu's abilities in combination. But luck is on their side. Han Wenqing shows up to face off with Yi Xiu. The fight only confirms the captain's suspicions. Lord Grimm is Yi Xiu. Han is enraged and starts hammering Yi with questions. Why did you retire? Have you forgotten the ideals we shared? 9 years ago, a battle raged on in Quanzhi. The two top players, rivals, in glory faced off, one Autumn Leaf and Desert Dust. Both undefeated and notorious. A short time afterwards, each signed onto different professional teams. It's the finals. Han and Yi face off in the first ever championships of Glory's professional league. Excellent Era comes out on top. Gaoshou beats Han Wenqing, leading his team to the top of the Glory Professional Alliance. Nearly 9 years later, the two are facing off again. But this time, no one wins. The fight ends after Gaoshou promises to return to the professional level. Han will be waiting. Back at the cafe, Qingwei hands out her newest purchase. Gaoshou dons Team Happy's new uniform, ready to return to Glory.